Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us with another episode of Connecting Our Community. Today, it's an honor to have with us the Executive Director of Communications for the Rockwood School District, Mr. Alex Fees. Hi, Alex.
Hey, good afternoon.
So tell everybody a little bit more about you and what you do for Rockwood, and then just give us a briefing on what the Rockwood School District is doing. And I'm sure Parkway and other school districts around are pretty similar.
Right. Well, I'm new to the role of Executive Director of Communications. I've been in that since July. Prior to that, I was Communications Coordinator here in Rockwood for 2 years. I have a long time, extensive history in media. I was a television reporter, producer, and videographer in St. Louis. I worked at Channel 5 and at Channel 2 during my tenure in St. Louis. But again, I've been in school, public relations, and PR now for just, let's see, a total of 5 years. I spent 2 years in Melville School District as well before coming to Rockwood. And I'm in charge of communications and public relations. Now, as you can imagine, that's a lot different at a time like this than it normally is when, you know, we are promoting Rockwood as an education destination, if you will. You know, I do a lot of stories about perfect ACT scores and third grade art, things of that nature that parents and members of our community love and want to see more of. Obviously, that's changed dramatically here over the past few weeks. You know, we've had some very significant and serious communications we have had to send out and go through a process with our administrators, our curriculum directors, and certainly our communications team in order to you know, find a way forward, if you will, as far as online education goes now for the near future.
Your communications, I will say, is phenomenal. We, our family goes to Rockwood, and the phones and the messages, the emails, it's really been great to have. And it's amazing over the years with our older kids now graduated, just how the technology has progressed. It's been really great. And this, I bet, has been some pretty stressful times for you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. That certainly has been the case here, in particular recently. I mean, these are uncharted waters. This is unprecedented for our country. You know, I like to point out that, or at least in recent history, it is. I like to point out that the universities have an advantage over us because they've had an online presence for years. You know, we created ours out of whole cloth 3 weeks ago. You know, and so did other St. Louis County schools, certainly. And you know, Laura, I like to tell the story about, I started at Channel 5 back in 1998. I was there for, I think, 15 years. And throughout that, and throughout my entire time with the media, whenever I'd go to a morning editorial meeting, if somebody had seen something, you know, before the internet in USA Today or on the Today Show or something like that, or after the advent of the internet, they saw something online about some new educational initiative or something like that, without exception, one of the journalists at that meeting would say, well, somebody call Rockwood and Parkway, because if anybody has it, they will have it. And, you know, and that's true. It was true in 1993. It's true now in 2020. And I'm an educator, I'm a communicator, but it's my job to continue facilitating that message.
How are the kiddos handling the online presence that you know of right now? I know my son, who's a junior at Marquette, just started yesterday online. So how's the feedback been?
Well, I think as you probably found out, they're a lot more adaptable than we are about this kind of thing because they're shorter. It's not that big of a deal for them, frankly. But I can tell you that from an administrative point of view, Monday was given to finalizing our infrastructure and things of that nature. Tuesday and Wednesday were full days of online teacher training for all teachers in our district. And then Thursday, yesterday, was the day we launched our alternative learning plan online. And, you know, that includes, we're utilizing resources like Gmail, you know, for teachers communicating back and forth with their students. Also, you know, they're doing online video conferencing, things of that nature. And I do know that administrators have instructed our teachers that these 2 days remaining in this week, Thursday and Friday, are just given to reestablishing contact with students. We want Rockwood students to feel a part of their classrooms, a part of their classes. They want to reconnect with their teachers, and we want our students to reconnect with each other. You know I have 2 boys that are 8 and 10, and that social element is very important. You know, we need to remind them hey, we're all still part of a community. And as you know, that is certainly true here in West St. Louis County and in Rockwood.
We've got the best teachers around our area, and this is from other districts as well, but the teachers that have congregated a drive-through, have you seen that on the internet? That,
Yes.
and I know Rockwood did the same thing, where the teachers have gotten in cars and gone through subdivisions, just honking and letting their kids know that they miss them and that it's okay. That to me was, oh, that was heartwarming, and just the wonderful thing to see out of this, crisis, that there is hope and love, and people are really shining and coming up, just coming up and really making a big difference.
Absolutely. Just people are responding in ways they never have had to before. They've been asked to. I saw a story in local media. I pitch a lot of stories to local media, as you can imagine. This is not one that I had anything to do with, but it was the birthday parade. In fact, I think it was in Baldwin, if I'm not mistaken. Did you see that one?
I believe so, off of New Baldwin, yeah.
Right. She couldn't have her birthday party anymore, so all the kids who were invited, their parents got in their cars and just drove by her house and honked and waved at her.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, teachers did the same thing, just driving through the community.
Yeah. Is there anything that the business community and those that are listening can do for the school district, whether it's Rockwood, Parkway, any of our school districts? What do you all need from our businesses?
Well, I think just your continued support, probably your indulge us with your patience a bit as we get this unprecedented alternative learning plan underway and work out the kinks and get it up and running. I mean, we don't know how long we're going to have to be doing this. And, it's important to foster that sense of community. I know in my wife and I with our own kids, okay, school starts at 8 o'clock, school still starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, even though it's online school, as we like to call it. But, as far as, Lord knows our members of our business community themselves are reeling from this. And, it certainly has given a new meaning to the phrase date night. It's all out now,
Yeah, the biggest struggle for not only our business community, but for our kiddos at home is that interruption in our daily schedule. That routine and that glitch and that interruption and that routine can be so traumatic and just so, I don't know, it can be hard for those, I think, to handle. So to be able to have Rockwood and all of our school districts up and running so quickly, and creating this has been just a really good thing for our kids. And again, like you said, it's taking something that was unprecedented and unexpected to be able to just say, okay, let's make this happen and get on Zoom. And my son was upstairs earlier, I opened the door and he's on had the computer on and his teacher was right there talking. So I'm just like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and it brings a sense of reassurance and I know that's what our superintendent, Dr. Mark Miles, wanted during this first week. And also, Dr. Shelley Willott, one of our other curriculum directors, this first week is dedicated to just maintaining those contacts, reestablishing those contacts. Granted, it's a different mechanism, it's a different delivery method now, but we want kids to look forward to that every day. Tomorrow morning they're going to get a chance to see so-and-so online, their friend, their team, what have you. And I know Dr. Mark Miles has commissioned Rockwood administrators and staff with making that happen.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Alex. I appreciate so much your time and for everything that you guys are doing for the kids in Rockwood School District. You guys are truly making an impact and we greatly appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.